Hi guys, this is Pradeep. Welcome to my channel. So today we will take another interview question, and in this scenario I am going to cover the senior consultants who are looking for consulting job as well as the process knowledge also if you are looking for the business analyst role. And you can see here that there is a requirement of FI/SD integration. Not only FI/SD integration, you will find that there is a requirement of SD CO integration, particularly for your profitability analysis, because when we are going to do the sales process, so in that case we are going to capture the revenue as well as the cost, and for that purpose you need to have the FI/SD integration, and it will be a very common question the moment you are going to add some experience in your profile. For example, let's say 3 to 4 years experience if you are going to add in your profile in consulting, so it is very common, it will be there. So that means here interviewer is going to check two knowledge from you. One is FI/SD integration as well as your SD integration with your COPA, which is now margin analysis, but basically it is the profitability analysis. So I will run one cycle, the sales cycle, and we will start from the initial sales process, and then we will do the collection also, because here also I am going to show you how we are going to do the collection, what are the different options are there. So I will take one EBS process and we will do the collection. So let's check that. So as we know that sales process includes this is your entire sales cycle, so which is going to start from your sales order. Then after that the stock availability should be there, which is not the finance activity, or as a finance user you are not going to do, or as a consultant also it is not your area, but logistic consultants are going to do and logistic user is going to do. So sales order will be created by the logistic user, but particularly the user side, when you are going to join somewhere as your O2C process, so those activities also included in your profile. So you should know all this. Then first order, then the stock availability, means you are going to check the stock or not, stock available or not. Then after that your outbound delivery, then after that the goods delivered, or which is known as your PGI. Then after that you are going to have your billing, that is then after that the collection. So this is the entire process, order to cash. So already you know the order to cash already in my channel, some videos are there, but today what we are going to focus, what are the, if we are going to perform this process, then finance point of view, and particularly finance point of view, what are the accounts are going to hit, or what are the reports we are looking here. And second thing, your collection point of view, what are the areas we are going to explore, or banking if you are going to involve here, so how it is going to. So multiple things I am going to cover in this particular scenario. So it is going to help both your technical way, means configuration point of view, as well as from the user point of view. And before coming to the SAP system, I just quickly let's review it. So what we are going to do, the entire process. So there will be inquiry, that means customers inquiry, customer is looking here, the inquiry need to be processed. Again it is purely logistic activities. So with this, is there any accounting activities there? No, it's not there, there is no accounting involvement in there. So that means as a FI/SD integration point of view, you can say here nothing we are going to do. Then next, the quotation analysis, again that is also logistic point of view, so here also no accounting is there, but SD consultant point of view, these are the activities are very essential. Then sales order will be created in the system, again that is will be handled by the logistic consultant, but when I will do the demonstration, I will do that also, because we can't proceed without that. So we will start from the sales order, and then after that we are going to have the goods issue. So that means the order created. Now with reference to order, we are going to proceed with one delivery. So here we are going to perform two activities. One will be the delivery note will be prepared, again that is the logistic activities. So this one is logistic, this one is logistic, this one is logistic, this one is also logistic activities. So here we are going to see both delivery as well as post goods issue. Now this point is very important for your FI/SD integration point of view and SD CO integration point of view, because now you can see here up to this there is no accounting is involved, but in this point accounting is involved here. So what is the accounting entry? COGS account, which you are saying cost of sales. So cost of sales account is going to debit and FG is going to credit. So who is going to post this accounting entry? No one is going to post entry. So if you are working as the user side, and particularly if you are there from the accounting user, so you will find the moment there will be some logistic activity will be there in the logistic system, in your system you are going to have that update. So your job is just to analyze here. So what analysis you are going to do, you will check whether the respective GL accounts are updated or not, particularly the COGS account is updated if you are handling the finance, plus FG stock should be credit, and this will be auto posting entry. And plus, you are also, if you are going to handle the profitability analysis, so in that case you will see whether that particular cost object is updated or not, because when we are going to do the inventory delivery, so that time we are going to capture the cost. For example, let's say we are going to deliver to customer 10 items. So in that 10 items, what is the cost we are going to capture? Ultimately, in this process, we are going to do the cost and revenue analysis. So if you are working from the costing side, then you will check whether the profitability report is updated with that or not. That everything we will see in the system today. And if you are working on the finance side, you will check all the GL accounts are updated or not. Consultant point of view, it is your like one of the most important area, because you have to configure both FISD integration as well as SDCO integration, so that users are going to get their output. Then next will be again another logistic activity, which is your billing. Again will be handled by the logistic user, and with reference to, we are going to have accounting entries. Now here you will find three areas are going to update. If I am the logistic user, I will perform this billing activity. So inside you can see T codes I have listed. Then with reference to that billing, I am going to see my particular the moment if I am the logistic user, and the moment I posted here my customer billing document in SD module, immediately we will see the receivable team is going to get the update that customer item is due or whatever as per their payment terms and all, but customer open item should be there, which is due for collection. That is their update. So that is the receivable team's activities. If you are handling and it is part of O2C receivable, O2C cycle receivable team is going to do. If you are handling R2R, so with reference to customer, we know that it is sub-ledger, and with reference to customer, the respective GL account, which we are saying accounts receivable, that should be updated. So if you are working on R2R side, then it is your responsibility to do to check the customer reconciliation is going to happen or not, because ultimately in end you are going to prepare your balance sheet, and in your balance sheet your receivable item should be there. So O2C person is going to check with reference to the billing, the customer should be updated, customer invoice should be updated. R2R person is going to check whether the reconciliation account is updated or not. If you are handling the costing, then there you are going to capture the revenue part, revenue, or if any other items are there like your deductions or commission, anything is there, so that should be captured. So three departments are going to get update. And of course, as a consultant, it is your responsibility to do all these integrations. Then finally, the collection. So collection, like customer, and this is purely finance activity, logistic activities are completed. So when the collection will be there, so what will be the accounting entry? So the accounting entry will be bank is going to debit and your customer is going to credit. Again, here also update should be there when the collection person is going to process this activity. So the receivable team is going to get the update, or in fact receivable team is going to handle this one. So customer, the line item will be cleared, and funds should be available in the bank, and the reconciliation account should be updated here. Now with this, there is no update in the profitability, because basically in profitability analysis or COPA point of view, we are capturing the revenue as well as cost. Now what are the different options are there which we can do here for the collection purpose? One option, we can do the manually. That means we have open item and we are going to process that manually. So we will check the first T code, that is F-28, which is very rare. We don't do that. Second option, we may process it through the checks. So let's say we have received the checks from the customer, or multiple customers we have received. So periodically we can clear those items. So that is also one of the item. Third one is important one. Let's say a customer made this payment, but it is never updated to us, right? So, or it is updated but never cleared from the respective person, the collection team never cleared. So when the R2R team is going, because bank reconciliation will be handled by the R2R team. So as per the customer receivable team or accounts receivable team, they are showing that there is one open item is available in their books of accounts, because customer entry never received, but actually customer made the payment and it is reflecting in the bank statement. Because when customer is going to make the payment in the bank directly, let's say they transferred, so obviously when you will get the bank statement and it is handled by the R2R team, so they are going to get the update, yeah, this much funds already received. So now it is their responsibility, because it is never updated or it is missed by the receivable team. So receivable team is showing there is one open item, whereas in bank statement the funds is showing. So now the R2R team, record to report team, is going to clear that particular item through bank reconciliation. right? So in this case, receivable team will not be involved. If you are going to process this item F-28 or F668, so in that case, we are going to do the collection. After collection, that is going to reflect in the bank. I'm taking the third option. So bank is updated here first, then we are going to clear that item. So it is a bit tricky, but most of the time you will find this activity handled by the R2R team. So what I explained, let's check in the system. So now I'm going to create one sales order, and for your reference, I have created here one material, that is our finished stock, and we are going to sell that finished stock. So here for you, let me note it here. So this will be master record FG finished stock, and we are going to sell 2 items. Okay, now I am acting, or the task next I am going to perform. So I am assume that logistic user, I am going to pick one customer, and I am going to select this item, and 2 items we are going to deliver. I don't know what is the selling price, so it is already configured by the SD team. They have already maintained, SD consultant they have already maintained. I don't know the cost price of this particular product. This is already maintained by the costing team, so they have already calculated the cost and it's showing. Now being logistic user, I am going to perform the sales order, and with reference to sales order, we will also simultaneously check if any accounting document will be there or not. Obviously accounting document will not be there with reference to sales order. So let's do that. So what is the transaction code here? It is written. You can use the navigation, but quickly I am going to use here the the T code, and the T code is VA01, and I am using for your reference one S4 system, S4 HANA 2022 system, and the same information also we will towards the end we will check in Fiori 2. So I entered this transaction code VA01. So order type I am taking here that OR. Then sales organization, again it is configured by all this by logistic consultant. I mean in backend I configured everything, but I assume that it is configured by the logistic consultant. So that I selected here. Then I selected here the distribution channel. So let's say I am aware about all this informations, and just I processed. So here I will select the customer to whom we are going to sell the product, which is also known as your sold to party. Give some reference number here. So let's say reference number is with reference to customer purchase order. So reference number is, let's say 90123, something just I entered here, and then I will continue with the plant. Okay, and as I said, we will check the availability of the product after this task. So let's check. Material number 115, I know that, so that I entered here, and order quantity 2, let's say. Now you can see here some net value is updated. Okay, I have not entered anything here. I just entered here the customer to whom we are selling the product, what I am going to process here, and the how many items. That's it. But I can see with my input, because of other consultants configuration, I can see multiple informations are updated, and this is the beauty of your configuration. So here you can see the cost of the product. Here selling price is 800, so accordingly 2 items 600 updated. Then here we are going to give one discount sales reduction 1%, that accordingly updated. Tax amount is there, that also updated here, and the cost price is updated here. As I said, this different information system is collecting from different sources. SD configuration it is collecting, CO configuration it is collecting, and automatically it is updated in my system. Now everything looks fine for me, so I am going to create this sales order. So one order created, so standard order 68 created. So with reference to this 68 sales order, now I am going to check if any accounting document generated or not. So in PPT I already explained that with reference to the sales order, there will be no accounting. These 2 steps I skipped, so there will be not applicable. That means there is no accounting document is there. Let's confirm it. Nothing is there. So with reference to sales order, no update is there. Now next I am going to do the outbound delivery, which is again maybe same user from the logistic or any another user is going to perform that activity. So with reference to that, definitely we are going to have the FI update, CO update, and whatever the logistic update will be there. So next one is VL01N, but next task should be, I have to make sure that that inventory should be there, stock availability, right? That is one of your activity, because without inventory, we can't proceed with the delivery. So if you check the next activity, sales order created, what is the next activity? The next activity is your availability check, right? So that should be there. So now I'm going to check this inventory whether it is there or not. This one we can check in two different ways. So if I am the logistic user and inventory I am handling, so I will check the position of the inventory. That is one way. So we can check here the transaction code MMB, which is again logistic T code, and I will check here the inventory number here and the particular plant. And I can see here some informations are, I can see the stock position here. So 13 items are there. So we are good to go with the delivery. This is one way you can check the inventory. Another module is there, that is your material ledger. So again, it is related to, or it is independent one, but closely connected with controlling. So if you want to see the detailed information that related to that inventory, at this moment I can, a logistic point of view, it is enough for me to proceed further and we can do the outbound delivery. But if you are going to check from the inventory point of view, so that is also one way, material ledger point of view. So I just selected here material 115 and I can see here the stock position also. So whether the stock is there or not. So you will find that here some more informations are there related to inventory, but we will check here whether we have the enough stock is there. So 13 items are there, so we can do that. But here other informations are there related to inventory valuation, which is part of material ledger. Again, that is, we will not deviate from our current topic. So next we are going to proceed with our outbound delivery. So that transaction code is VL01N. So here for delivery purpose, we will add the shipping point. Okay, each and everything in backend, it is already configured by me. So that is why I am performing all these tasks. So respective consultant or backend configurations will be handled by the developers or the consultants. Now with reference to that particular sales order, we are going to do the outbound delivery, this particular company code. So I mean, for the plant, it's automatically taking. So order is 68 and we are going to process that. Now we are going to do the outbound delivery, and with reference to C, we will see other areas. The GL should be updated. So what should be the GL update? The inventory should be credited because outflow of your inventory, and the cost should be captured. So GL should be updated and COPA should be updated. Cost of sales account should be debit. So this one is going to update both finance point of view as a responsibility of the R2R team, and this things is going to happen automatically, and inventory is going to credit, plus costing point of view, it should be updated in the COPA too. So I'm just, and this activity I'm performing as a logistic user. The moment I'm going to process here post goods issue. Okay, so some informations is missing, my mistake. So here we will go to, say I'm there in the outbound delivery. So add here the order. I need to add the storage location and 2 items. We have enough stock, 13 items are there, and I just selected the item and post goods issue. So it was incomplete letter. Earlier it was incomplete, right? So I can see the logistic document is processed, outbound delivery. You may remember these documents, so all this we will see the relationship. So a delivery document is some 8, then some 0, 4, 9 updated, and the logistic document is also updated. And with reference to that, let's do one thing. Let's note all this information so that we will check these informations in our cloud also. Okay, so somewhere I will note it. Now next activity I'm going to check. Now it is time to check the report. So we will check whether the GL account updated or not with reference to inventory credit, and inventory should be reduced also. So that also we are going to check. First check the GL accounts are updated or not. So cost of, what is the per item cost? So per item cost in that sales order, let's check that again. So this is the beauty of any advanced ERP system. With one activity, we are going to check multiple things. So what was my cost? I want to see the cost of that particular product, which was reflecting that time in my sales order, and the cost per unit, it is 431.87. So for 2 items, what should be the cost? 863.74, the cost of inventory. It is cost price. This 800 is the selling price. Now my cost of sales account updated with this amount. It must be updated with this amount. So what is that amount? 863.74. Check that. 863.74. So this is your integration. FI and SD integration. So cost of sales account debited, and what should be the credit? This one is credit. So outflow of inventory and your debit. Now this is the responsibility of the R2R team. Their job is over. That means they have just checked the data is properly updated. Now we will check the two items should be updated from your inventory point of view. Earlier what was the stock position? 13, right? Now check here. Now it is 11. So two items delivered to customers. So that also reduced here. And now if I am going to check my profitability report as a part of my costing activity, so there also it should be updated. So now I am going to check the COPA report. We will check this one. You just first three lines you just ignore. Check this one. Okay, if you want to confirm, you can check the source document also. If you double click here, you will find the source document is what? With reference to the outbound delivery, right? So with reference to that outbound delivery. So what was the document? Check the reference document. Something is there 175, right? So that I noted that time. With reference to the logistic document, this COPA document updated or COPA segment updated. So my cost is updated. This one is handled by the CO team, user point of view, right? So cost captured for the profitability analysis point of view. This one is output for the R2R team. So ultimately they will prepare all the reports. So with reference to outbound delivery, so FIGL updated, cost of sales, and FG stock is credited. So this is with one activity, that is your outbound delivery. So FI updated, inventory updated, and your profitability report also updated. Coming to the next activity. So next one will be your billing document. So maybe video will be lengthy, but this is very important interview question. So next activity will be your outbound delivery, billing document. Sorry, outbound delivery done. Next one is your billing document. So with reference to billing document, we will see receivable, customer receivable items, plus we are going to see the revenue credit, that is revenue again related to R2R, and customer will be part of your receivable team, and R2R as a reconciliation account also we are going to check. So we will proceed with that. Now I am converting the same sales order into billing document. So with reference to PGI, so now you can see the reference number 49. So everything we are doing from the same beginning activity we are doing. So check the number. So what is my delivery document? 8 some zeros 49. Now I am processing. So with reference to the delivery note, we are going to process the billing document. Now I am the logistic user. In comment, someone asked the question what as an SD user we are going to. So whatever the activities till now I am doing, all are your SD activities, and whatever the output we are getting, that is related to finance and costing side. So because of integration. So something updated here, the billing document, let's note this one also. So now I am customer line items. So I selected today's date, and we will check whether the customer open item, receivable item updated or not. Right? So just ignore these two lines. Now you can see here. How to confirm that this is the same document. So I can see here the amount is updated, means customer receivable item is updated. If you will go to all the informations, you can verify that if with reference to this sales order only these activities are happened, right? So what we performed today, so we performed one sales order. If you recall, the sales order number was 68. With reference to that, we perform that logistic document, logistic activity, that is your outbound delivery. So with reference to that, there is COPA updated, there is okay, in this company called Profit Center also I have configured, so some update is there, just ignore that one. Then we got the accounting document, that already we have seen. So what is that accounting entry? Cost of sales debit and FG stock credit. Then now we performed the billing document, this 9 series, this number, and with reference to that we got the accounting document. So this is my accounting document updated, and particularly if I am the receivable part of receivable team, then it is our job to proceed with the collection. Now what is the responsibility R2R team? Now here FISD integration is there, because of that this happened. Now what is the responsibility of the R2R team? R2R team is going to check whether the reconciliation account is updated or not. You can see 171072 updated. Now this data is important for your R2R team, because they are going to prepare the balance sheet, and in balance sheet customer item will not be there, reconciliation data or receivable item will be there. So this particular GL data is going to reflect in the balance sheet, and it is the responsibility of the R2R team. If I am going to, if I am handling customer receivables, then this data is there. Because I have only one transaction, so that's why same item you can see everywhere. But assume that we have so many line items are there. In reconciliation account, you are going to have a consolidated balance, whereas here in customer, you are going to have the individual details. So this is data related to receivable team or receivable department. This is related to our R2R. So all my GL accounts, or activities are updated here. And next, it should be reflected in the COPA too. The revenue should be captured. Let me rephrase it. Okay, this one is related to my outbound delivery. Already we have seen this one, and the source document also we have verified. Second two lines are updated because of your billing documents with reference to sales activity. So this is a revenue. It was there in the sales order. I hope you remember. Let's check it, because everything is connected with each other. And when you are going for interview and you are showing that I configured end-to-end process, you have to convince the employer that actually you have configured. And when you will configure in the system, then only you can confidently explain your scenario. Now, what is my sales item? $1,600, right? The same 1,600 it's reflecting here. So 1,600 updated as your sales item. $1,600 updated as sales from the finance point of view. This data again will be part of your income statement. R2R team is going to do that. This data is there because here some other items are there like your tax and also because of that some more invoice amount is different. But you will observe here I have not entered anything here manually. So with my logistic activities, my other areas are getting updated, right? So my revenue is updated 1,600 and some discount sales reduction is there, tax is there. So all these things are because of your integration, right? So that is responsibility of the sales receivable team is going to do. As a part of costing profitability analysis, because we have two reports, external income statement and internal, that is your profitability report. So that is also updated, 1,600 sales reduction. So what is the profit if you are only going to consider this particular business scenario? So what is my profit here? It is revenue minus cost minus, this is my cost of sales minus discount, sales reduction, that is our profit. So this is update in the COPA, this is update in your accounts receivable, and this one is your R2R. Okay, so next coming to collection. So last activity, collection. So with this collection, we are going to receive the funds from the customer. As I said, one option is we can collect it manually. So you can go to the transaction code F-28 or you will go to the accounting. It is purely accounting activity. So you will go to financial accounting and accounts receivable, then go to your document entry and incoming payment. So here you are going to manually add all the information. So general information, your bank information and customer information, open item, then we can collect it. This is one way, and this is practically we are not using it, but option is there. Second option, let's say we have received the funds from the customer. Today we have received 100 checks and all this we are going to clear it. Then accordingly the backend configuration should be there. So that we can perform with this particular transaction code FF68. That also we have I have listed here. That also we can perform, but again in backend configurations are required. Third option, let me show you that screen. So here the bank informations will be there and data will be entered, and once you will execute, if configuration is correct, it will be cleared. Third option, what I am saying here is, assume that customer already made the payment. All these activities I am doing today, but assume that customer already made the payment and it is never updated in our system. So right now, if we are checking this system, so it's showing that customer item is still due. We have not received the funds, but whereas customer already made the payment. Assume that it's after 2-3 days completed, and now it is already updated in the funds deposited in the bank, and we got a bank. When we check the bank statement, in bank statement that particular amount is reflecting. Now what is the responsibility of the R2R team? R2R team is going to clear this line item, but R2R team is not going to manually post any collection entry, because funds never we have like accounts receivable team is not involved here. R2R team is going to upload the bank statement, and with reference to that bank statement execution, the funds will be deposited in our books of account. Funds in bank is already deposited, that is reflecting the bank statement, but in our system it should be there. Right now, if we will check what is our bank GL account status, this is my bank GL account. Now in this GL account, it's showing that right now the funds, the reconciled balance, it's showing that 855,386, but actually it is not 85536. When I'm checking my SAP system or in our internal system, we are checking that we have the funds 85536, but actually in our bank statement, assume that in our bank statement we have already received the funds from the customer. So the opening balance is, understand this one carefully. So opening balance 85536, 85536. Then directly funds received from customer. So customer, not collection, customer already deposited and customer received amount, right? So that amount is, let's close it, it's over now, profitability analysis screen. Now this amount is not this one. Now this amount is already received from the customer. Customer made the payment directly to the bank. 171072. Okay, so what should be your closing balance? Your closing balance as per your bank statement, it should be 256608. If we will check the physical copy of our bank statement, so there the closing balance is showing 256608. I am ignoring other transactions. Whereas in our SAP system, the bank balance is showing how much? It is 85536. So there is mismatch of data. So that's why this item, this collection item or this open item which is there in the system, that we are going to clear with reference to bank reconciliation execution. If the last one, ignore the other items, the last one. Fine. If collection is going to be happen by the receivable team, it is part of your O2C. In this example, O2C is, or your receivable department is not involved here. It is handled by the R2R team. And it is quite normal process in month-end activities. When they are going to perform the reconciliation, they are going to clear this item. Now in this case, actually we are not going to receive the funds already received. We are just going to clear that customer line item which is available, which is showing in our system. Just ignore the other line items, this current line item. Fine. Now for this execution purpose, let's prepare one dummy bank statement. I mean, bank statement I don't have, so that's why I will prepare one bank statement. But again, you can format here, you can take here the actual format. So I am going to use here MT940 format, which we will upload in the SAP system and we are going to execute it. So if all my configurations, everything correct, so then this line item will be cleared. Then your closing balance is going to match with my Excel sheet as per the calculation, and everything should be done. So I am going to, first let me prepare one bank statement. So I already prepared one bank statement. Let me show you that. So what is the opening balance? So right now the opening balance, this is the account. Against this account I am going to process it, or this is the bank statement against this particular account. Now what is the opening balance? So as per our data, the opening balance is 85536, 85536. Let's update that. 85536. Then here I need some reference to process. So let's check the reference item. Something I have updated in the reference with reference to sales order. When I was creating the sales order, something I have updated there. So that data I am going to take. It is 90123. So in statement there will be hundreds of lines will be there, but just for demonstration purpose, with few items I am processing it. 90123. And what should be the closing data? 256608. 256608. So I am just summarizing. This is the bank statement which we have received from the bank, and in the bank statement it's showing the closing balance for this particular account 256608. Whereas in our books of accounts, the bank balance is showing 85536. It's because one item, this particular item, the last line, the item is already deposited by customer but never updated to us, or if they have updated, it is skipped by the receivable team. Now R2R team is going to, and again I am just showing the process in backend, all the configuration should be there, then only it is going to work. That is why you will find that user activities are very easy. right? So I'm going to upload this bank statement, and if I will successfully upload it, then my closing balance should be 256608, which is as per our calculation. This line item, which is already one transaction, you can see it is there. Okay, sorry, I need to update that too. This particular item also we need to add in the bank statement, as we are preparing this bank statement manually. So 1710 171072. But in reality, we will not prepare any bank statement. Bank statement you will get from the bank only. So once we will upload it and we will execute it, so everything is going to update it in all the books of accounts. So let's do that. Now I'm going to process the bank statement, and after that quickly we will also check the same information in the Fury too. Transaction code FF_5, or you will find this one under your bank, and we will import the data. Bank statement, and we will not do the manual one. This is one manual bank statement process is there, but we will import it. This is the user activity of R2R team. So R2R team is going to upload the bank statement which they have received from the bank. This is the bank statement, and I am going to process it, execute. Something happened. Now let's see the output. What should be our closing balance? The closing balance should be, this is my bank account, the closing balance should be 256608. So one transaction posted here, okay, and it is exactly as per our working 256608. Now what is the status of your customer line item which was due earlier? This last line 171072. If I am going to refresh it, then line items cleared here. So because of your bank reconciliation execution. So this is the beauty of your integration. In this process, so many integrations I have already explained. FISD integration, FI bank integration, because bank is different one. Then SDCO integration, because profitability also updated here. So this scenario you can use if you are preparing for a user side, that time you can use it. If you are preparing for configuration also, this scenario you can configure in the system.